So I have this equation here that I need to solve for t. So the first thing I need to do is I need to get rid of the square root. So I'm going to do that by squaring both sides. That's going to cancel out that square root. So I'm going to have and the right side is basically multiplying itself. So now on the left side, I'm going to have 16t plus 112. On the right side, I'm going to take this first and multiply it by the two items in the second, and the same with the second term. So I will have negative 8 times negative 8 is going to give me a 64 plus negative 2t times a negative 8, and then a negative 8 times a negative 2t. They're both going to give me 16t. So together that will be 32t. Negative 2t times a negative 2t, I'm going to get a plus 4t squared. Okay. Now, I need to get 0 on my left side. So I'm going to subtract these two terms on both sides. So that's going to leave me with a 0 equals. And I'm going to move this around. So I'm going to have 4t squared. I'm going to be left with plus 16t. And then from these two, I'm going to be left with minus 48. So now what I need to do is I now need to break this up into kind of like how I did here. So I'm going to have 0 equals, and I'm going to do 4, and I'm going to take 4 out of each of these. So I'm going to divide each of these terms by 4. So I took 4 out, so I'm going to be left with t squared plus, divided this by 4, so I'm going to be left with 4t minus, I took 4, I divided this by 4, so I'm going to have 12. Now, how do I get this? So, I'm going to have t, I'm going to have t again. I need to figure out what numbers are going to give me a negative 12 and a positive 4 when I have to break it out and multiply it. So to get negative 12, I can do 12 and 1, I can do 4 and 3, I can do 6 and 2. Those are my factors. Of those, the only ones that are going to give me an answer of 4 would be 6 and 2. Since 4 is positive, I know that my larger number needs to be positive. So I'm going to have a t plus 6. And then over here, I'm going to have a t minus 2. Because when I break this up, this would times this would times this, and then same with that second term. And that would give me what I have up here. So now I know, since I have 0 on this side, I need to figure out what here is going to give me 0 to match it up. So one of my possible answers is going to be t equals, and it's going to be a negative 6. And over here, I know that t equals 2. 2 minus 2 is going to give me 0. 0 times 4 gives me 0. Negative 6 plus 6 is going to give me 0. Times 4 is going to give me 0. So these are my two answers.